back to the Raw Obsidian Knitting Podcast. My name is Kris. This podcast is just about knitting, making, spinning, etc., whatever else I dabble in. You can find me on the internet, Instagram, Ravelry at Obsidian Brat, as well as the making app at Raw Obsidian Knits. It has been some time since my last mini episode. That last episode, I just kind of gave you a kind of knitting view, so to speak, of my family's kickstart to my husband's summer vacation. He's a school teacher, so he's out for the summer, which means we get lots and lots of time to spend together. And that trip to that cabin, which is only about 18 miles out away from our house, it was completely magical. I mean, filming it was one thing, but oh my gosh, you just needed to just be there in person to just really drink in how beautiful our Pacific Northwest Oregon Valley is. I mean, wow. You can just see mountains upon mountains, trees upon trees. I was actually very fortunate on one of our misty mornings to spot not one, but 2 wolves. And that was probably in the evening. And the night before, we had heard a singular wolf in the tree line behind the cabin, and it was calling and calling and calling, and it didn't quite sound like a coyote, and my husband was convinced it was a wolf, but it wasn't doing much of anything. It wasn't bothering us. The dogs were, we took our dogs with us, and they were just fine. But the second day, it was kind of misty. In the evening, it had been raining, and we were just hanging out on the porch, and you hear the more of the calling between wolves this time. It was more than one, and our dogs were kind of acting a little weird and being a little off. I put them inside, and not even 10 minutes after I put them inside, I was facing the cabin, watching Zaz play on the ramp to the cabin, and I look past, and in the clearing, I see one wolf walk by and another walk by, and they're not very keen to people at all whatsoever, so they try to avoid people at all costs here in Oregon. A lot of farmers end up trying to kill them because they kill livestock sometimes. But seeing 2 wolves was so rare, and they were this beautiful gray with some brown brindling on the hindquarters, very, very light brown, fluffy tails, huge animals, majestic animals. And wow, if I could have included that in the last episode, I totally would have. But it was just such a special moment. My husband was entirely jealous that I got to see 2 wolves while we were on that trip. I doubt they will be back in the area at all. They move very fast, and it's kind of like a migration time for them, and all that. So yeah, that was that episode. It was beautiful, and that was just the addition to the beauty, was seeing more beautiful animals. And so I plan on, we have more camping trips and cabin trips coming up, so I plan on taking all of you on the ride, on the trips with my camera, hopefully giving you some beautiful views to look at and knit to. And if you're not able to get outdoors, I want to share that experience with you because there's nothing more refreshing than knitting or making in the outdoors. So that's that. Let's talk about what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Strata top by Sew Liberated. It's been getting a lot of wear. And I'm also wearing these me-made polymer clay earrings. I think this is like one of the first pairs of earrings that I made for myself. And they're by all means not at all perfect, but I still love them. They could use some sanding, maybe a little varnish if I was feeling the shiny, but I'm not, so I'm leaving them as is. I have tons of earring making supplies and polymer clay. I still plan on making stitch markers at some point. I'm just prototyping a bunch of different things and seeing what I enjoy. But I digress. The earrings, the top, me-made stuff. And it's been really nice to wear things that I've been making. I've extended the Me Made May challenge, and I'm trying to do it for the entire year. And it's not a hard and fast rule that I always have to wear something that I've made. But I do want to wear my handmade things more often, because A, it makes me feel so good, and B, everything that I've made fits my body really well, therefore it makes me feel really good. Much better than a lot of fast fashion stuff. And of course I'm on a budget, so why not wear the things that I've made, mend them, etc. So that's my challenge, is to do that for the entire year. I have like a bunch of stuff that I would like to make, and I'm in the process of making, that will be worn through the summer, and hopefully I'll be able to make some things for the winter and fall in appropriate fabrics and yarns, etc., which will contribute to my me-made year. And if that's something that interests you at all, I would definitely comment about it, share if you'd like to join in. I definitely started a Me Made Year hashtag on the Making app if you'd like to use it. And it's just hashtag Me Made Year 2022. And feel free to use that tag. I might even start using it on Instagram. I've been spending less time on social media, a good segue from the Me Made Year, mostly because, the world is just, it feels like we're just snowballing, but the snowball is on fire, and it sucks. And so there's just been like a lot of collective turmoil, pain, upset feelings, anger, all very valid things. And I'm just at a place where a lot of that echo chamber, and I've been at this place for a while, a lot of the echo chamber, anger, resentment, this, that, it really, it activates me. And I always want to be in a place of peace and joy and just calm. Because I have been in that space of activism and really vocal about a lot of, things that have been in unrest since about 2014, and I just reached a point of being burnt out, and just realizing that there's a little bit more than just constantly being on. and constantly having something to say, because everyone else is having something to say. And so I think part of it is, the pandemic and everybody, going more inward since 2020. My time on the road with my husband before we had Esperanza, in our camper, a lot of that has changed me. And of course, living in this small town that we live in now, the community is really strong. And a lot of people, are angry about certain things. But at the end of the day, it's the community and the people we get to come home to, and our crafts and the beautiful views we have in our valley that bring all of us peace. It's the whole reason why we live here. And so I really want to tap into that. And so I've been stepping away and spending less time on Instagram, and other means of social media that aren't pertaining to making or crafting, because I'm trying to protect my peace. I'm trying to protect my energy, because I have responsibilities not only as a parent, but also as a partner, and as a member of my community, to show up for myself and for the people in my lives that I care about. So I don't want to always be in a place of anger when I'm showing up for people that I love. And so I've been leaning into more cooking and spending more uninterrupted time with my kiddo and my husband, and being in this craft room space and creating things. And of course, putting my time into this podcast, because I love connecting with everyone on a visual media level. So if you don't see very much of me posting on social media, that's the reason why. And it makes me really sad, because there's a lot of people who are making amazing things and I want to check in. But in the process of checking in, I get bombarded with all of the crap that's going on in the world. And then I'm just like, ugh. And then I feel bad, and then it sucks. And I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel good. And I'll be back. I'll be checking in here and there. But I'm just being more intentional about where I give my time and my energy. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. If you are engaging in the internet, social media, yada yada, putting your voice out there, that's so good. And if it's good for you, that's great. I'm just doing what works for me. But yeah, I want to connect better with people, and I want to hold space for positive places, and not to connect with like toxic positivity, but because we really do need more spaces and people who are willing to hold space for peace, and calm and center, because everything is just a whirlwind. And bringing everybody back in, bringing the focus back in, is so important and so necessary. And so I'm really grateful for all of the podcasters, knitting, quilting, spinning, makings of any type. I'm so grateful for all of you for sharing your crafts and for sharing your process and what you're making, because it really has given me a lot of inspiration, and it has been a place of peace for me to tune into your videos and spend some time getting to know you as a maker, a crafter, and also just holding wonderful conversations and comments and Discord communities and Slack communities. It's just been really nice to have a place to go that isn't just yeah. So letting all that go, Wow. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of why we are here, why I'm talking to you, sharing with you the making, the knitting, the stuff. Let's talk about works in progress. Okay, y'all. Oh, geez. I stopped in between knitting a row. So this is my Nightshift shawl by Andrea Mowry, and here is what I've got so far. She getting long, and we are on the 7th section of color work. Look at that. It looks so good. And I guess I was knitting outside with Zaz. We spent some time outside this morning before nap time, and I tried to knit while they were playing in the grass in the front yard, and it just did not work out that way. So I had to put it down. So hence me being in the middle of the row. I'm really trying hard to finish this shawl because today is just a taste of how hot it is going to be here in La Grande. It is going to be a whopping 97 degrees today. And don't get me wrong, I love warm weather from time to time. But as soon as it gets past like 85, I'm done. I'm over it. And I grew up in Southern California. In Orange County is where I was born, but then moved to the Inland Empire, right above San Diego. And y'all, when I tell you our summers were like 110, 113 degrees on average, like 90 was the low. And I'm just saying, there's a reason why I do not live there anymore. And part of it is green and rain. And another part of it is the heat. I just can't do it. And so when it gets like in the 90s here, and I live in Eastern Oregon now, I used to live in Western Oregon, where the summers weren't, you had a week of it being bad, but for the most part it was okay. It is hot here because we don't get as much rainfall. We get a lot more sun, which is honestly really nice, a nice change. We get snow, but gosh, the summers are just buck wild here sometimes. So yeah, I want to get this done because my hands are getting to the point of like, please stop with the scratchy, squishy wool. Bleh. When you're in the summertime and it's just like knitting with anything wool or warm just makes your hands do the weird sweaty thing, and it's not fun. Even in air conditioning, it's not fun. So I'm like frantically, as you can see, just trying to like get this done before it gets like 100 degrees outside. And I'm like hoping and praying that it doesn't get to be that hot this summer, but the Farmer's Almanac says differently, so pray for me. Yeah, that's my Nightshift. She's real fun to knit on. I still love knitting on it. I really want to find a way to make a Nightshift, but with I guess it would be really squishy. I'm thinking like cotton yarns or like some kind of like cotton silk blend, or like just something that doesn't stretch too much. So I gotta think about it, but it would be really nice to have one of these that's like lighter, and not made with a fiber that is wool, so that I can have a really nice, easy summer wrap. And I know there's patterns that are made for that, But, you know, I just really like the mosaic knitting of the Nightshift. I really enjoy it. It's really fun. It's not boring. And the color combinations are just absolutely beautiful. So I might just I might look into a nice cotton yarn that isn't like too weird. But yeah, more things, more plans. Yeah, so that is my knitting WIP. I have set down my coat for Roxanne for the same reason of I simply cannot knit woolly things, like fall, winter woolly things, when it is as warm as it is outside. So that is a way. I have some spinning that I have worked on, but it's not done yet, so we won't even think about that. And, oh yeah, let's talk about my newest sewing WIP. I am making the Hinterland dress by Sew Liberated. And I'm doing a muslin mock-up for it right now. And I started this probably I want to say 4 or 5 days ago. And I've stay stitched the neckline and armholes on the front bodice and the back. I am not doing a placket on either the bodice or the dress body because I just don't want to deal with buttons. I might do a different one that has buttons once I conquer my fear of sewing buttons. Pretty sure it's easy. I'm just being a big old baby about it. But yeah, I stay stitched it. I have put in my bust darts. Here they are. They have not been pressed because I still need to kind of pin the bodice together and try it on and see if this is where I like my bust darts. If not, I'm going to just pull it back out and adjust. But so far it's looking super good. If I enjoy the way that this has turned out, then I am going to dye this with indigo. And my friend Sarah, who owns and runs Evergreen Family Farm, and another new friend, Keegan, who owns or runs Happy Walrus Farm here in town. We are all getting together, the three of us, and doing some indigo dyeing, which is going to be really nice. We had to push back our dye date because Sarah's been doing wedding flowers, and they're so pretty and beautiful. If you live in the Grand Ronde Valley, Union County area, hit up Sarah for some flowers, either CSA flowers or veggies, whatever. The stuff is delicious. Same with Keegan. Like the eggs, we get eggs from Keegan, and they're so good. They're so good. I digress, though. We're going to do some indigo dyeing, and that's the plan for this, is to have an indigo dyed Hinterland. I need to decide if I just want a solid indigo or if I want to do a design on it using the shibari method or other methods of dyeing fabrics and putting a pattern on them. So we shall see. And I'm using, this is the muslin, it's the Waverly Inspirations. You can just buy this for like $5 and some change at the local Walmart. This Strata top is actually made with the same thing, and it is my Strata top mock-up that I love a lot, and I'm also considering making another one for Indigo Dyeing as well. So we're going to see. It's been really fun so far, but I haven't gone very far in the pattern. It should be very easy. It was very easy to cut out. So that's that on one pattern, and I have another whip. So, if you've been on Instagram, you have probably seen in the past that I was working on a mini quilt, which I was about to finish, and then I decided I didn't want it to just be a blanket thing sitting around doing nothing. I've been really inspired by people making quilt coats, which is on my next sewing, not even on my next, it's just on the ongoing list of things that I want to sew. So I decided that I'm going to make a bag out of my mini quilt. And also, in addition to the bag, a pouch that can be used for my laptop or anything else that suits my fancy. I have some plans for the two of these. Of course, this is the inside lining of the quilt, and the outside is also like that. I don't want to go into too much detail about these two projects because I'm in the middle of a process video, vlog, if you will, for making this quilted tote bag and laptop case / whatever you want it to be case. I've got my binding in here. This is my binding that I've made, pre-made bindings. I'm in the process of doing the binding on the inside, and I still need to do the binding around this, but I don't want to talk too much about it, so you're gonna have to wait until the process video comes out for this bag. I'm very excited. This is my first bag, first quilted bag, I should say, and it's been a fun time. So we're gonna leave that there. And look forward to that video. It should be out fairly soon. Of course, there's editing that I have to do, but it's gonna be good. Don't you worry about it. All right. Let's talk about acquisitions. And it's kind of a bittersweet acquisition. So, Rebel Woolworks, y'all have heard me talk about Tara's yarn on numerous occasions over the course of this podcast, including the fiber. And this is a merino nylon blend on her Rebel sock base. And I love this colorway. It's a one-of-a-kind colorway. And she picked it out saying that Zaz needs something knit up in this, which I agree. And so she gifted this to me because she's needing to offload some inventory. Also, she's a dear person and friend, and just wanted to do something nice because she's closing up shop, which is very, very sad for me, for the community here. If you haven't heard, her account on Instagram got hacked a while ago, and stole thousands of dollars from her. And it took her years to build up her follower base. It's the basis of making all of her sales because, you can't just make all your sales for a brick and mortar, just through the brick and mortar. You have to do it online. So she lost the ability to do that. And just basically it crumbled her business, which is just so sad and so unfortunate. Thankfully, she has a backup plan, and has a way to, continue to support her family. But unfortunately, what that means is that her whole family is having to uproot from Eastern Oregon and move to Alaska. And she's lived in Alaska before, but that's what she's going to be doing. Awesome construction managing. I don't know too much about that world, but she's a badass for doing that. A badass for having that knowledge, because wow. But she is definitely going to be missed. And I'm going to miss going to the store. I was looking forward to a summer of like iced tea and going to see her, because Jordan had off work and he would be able to have time to hang out with Zaz while I just had some me time. But unfortunately, that's not the case. The closest knit store to me is about 10 miles away, maybe less. And it's over in Union, which is the next town over. But it's such a bummer when someone a part of the fiber community is not able to continue on with their business, and for a fact that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into that business. So yeah, bittersweet acquisition, but I plan on making Zaz something special out of this yarn. And I have more fiber that I've spun that I've gotten from Tara and other. I'm actually have some of her Rebel sock right here, the rose gold, in my Nightshift. And so there's gonna be pieces of Tara throughout all of my makes, which makes me very happy. But yeah, best of luck, Tara. You will be missed. We all love you here. Thank you for all you do. But yeah, bittersweet acquisition. But yeah, Rebel Woolworks, man, a gem. Tara's a true artist, and it just sucks that the world is just missing out on such a fabulous indie dyer. But yeah, so that's my one acquisition. Now let's get to my finished objects. I have two, but I'm only going to show you one because one is in the wash, because what? It gets worn. All right, y'all. On the hanger, we have my Clyde jumpsuit, which I have finished. It is lovely. The pockets are deep. And this was so much fun to sew. Here's a picture of me wearing it, because I'm not wearing it right now. And let me tell you, it is comfortable. This thing is so comfortable. I finished it before I went to Southern California for my sister-in-law's wedding. And got a lot of wear out of it. I still get a lot of wear out of it. I'm so glad I made two of these. I have another one in a darker brownish wine color. And yeah, the triangles was a good choice. It was a very good choice because this is just super fun. Will I make another jumpsuit? Absolutely. I'm thinking about doing one that's a little woolly, maybe some like boiled wool. Probably not. Now that I think about it, boiled wool is a little excessive. But, you know, there's Merchant & Mills has some like lovely wool fabric. Pendleton sells wool fabric. I'll even sew a jumpsuit out of those flannel bed sheets that you can get in Walmart, because that's my life. My life is Walmart here. Oh, that just sounds comfortable too. Jammies. But yeah, I finished 2 of them, and they are just so comfortable, so nice. I definitely learned a lot between the 2. My first jumpsuit, I didn't do very good with the center paneling. I did pretty good on this one. So you do like a 1/4 of an inch little seam down here, down the center, and it goes all the way down the center of the pant leg, which you can't really see on these pants because they're printed. But then you also do the same thing in the center. There's like little center, because you're putting the panels together. And it just like tacks down the fabric on the inside, so you don't have to worry about it coming loose. And that was really nice. And then I've been getting real good at putting the tags on my handmaids. I'm thinking about maybe doing like a little embroidered something on the inside of these, because it's literally just like the canvas ribbon, and you can I just cut it and make little tags. I don't put anything like special like handmade or yada yada. It's literally just to tell the back from the front if I'm wild and I can't do that. But yeah, very nice. My favorite part, of course, is the pockets. Just like I said about the Clyde work pants, the pockets are even deeper than the Clyde work pants. I can't even express to you like how deep they are. They're like 8 inches deep, if that makes any sense to anybody, if that matters. As a mom, that's really awesome, because then I can just shove all of Esperanza's crap into my pockets. Keys, phone, whatever. Like, I could hold a whole tablet in my pocket if I really felt like it. But it's so nice to have something that I could just throw on, feel cute, just add a headband, some earrings if I wanted to, and call it a day. You can dress it up, dress it down, whatever. It's so nice. But yeah, those are my finished object, I should say. Yeah, that is basically the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please keep an eye out for the quilt process vlog that I will be putting out for you, so you can see what I'm doing with this little dude back there. Yeah, follow me on Making, Instagram, Ravelry, etc. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, what a time. This is a longer episode. I had a lot to share with everybody, which is nice. I will say that because I am more active in my life, episodes aren't going to be out every single week. I think we're going to be hitting that 2 to 3 week mark, and then you get an episode, which honestly is probably better, because I can't knit or make that fast, because I'm just, I'm all about the process. I'm all about slowness, and I'm also about spending quality time with my family, and that's what I'm doing right now. I hope you are also able to spend quality time with your family, your friends, your community, do fun things, get out, be active, chill, eat amazing food, all of that, all the good stuff that summer brings. So yeah, I will see you in my next video. happy making, and infinite peace for everybody out there. Love y'all. See you later.